All right, here we go. I always wait for the blue bar to fill up. It says we're live. We are?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here we are. This is Chapter 40 of the DC Alliance podcast. My name is Greg, the Bat Daddy 52, and with me, as always, my homeboy, Travis. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, Greg. I'm on midterm break. I have a week off from class. Unfortunately, I have a ton of reports, assignments, and crap like that. So it's a week off for the instructors more than it is for... But I just don't have to go to class. But even that was online anyway. So, but I'm enjoying my time off. I picked up some great comic books the last few days. I'm excited about that. And I may be going on a certain comic show this week to talk round 3 of a 5-round session we've had with this book. That's all I'm going to say, and take with that what you will.
I hear you. I'm sure we'll make an announcement whenever it's out there, so people will be able to follow or check it out.
Oh, yeah.
That's good, man. You know, you had the exams coming up. I know it's been busy for you lately, so glad to see you're
done with that. I got to say, last week I was in accounting, and the teacher said, "Yeah, so we'll have our test on March 19th," and I'm like, "This is my hardest course too. Like, no way can I do that." So immediately, hand up, like raised in the video chat. She asked me to speak, and I was like, "I have an appointment on the 19th." On the 18th, actually. I was like, and I don't know if I'm going to be fit to do an exam on the 19th, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And she was like, "This is a tentative date. If more people start writing in chat, can we do it next week? Can we do it like on a Tuesday, like the 23rd? And that got the ball rolling. So nice. I don't think we don't have a date set yet. There'll be one set next week, but I don't think it's going to be on the 18th or 19th. So that's what I was shooting for. Like, give me just those couple days to give me the 18th and then give me the 19th to recover and then get back into school.
Yeah. I've definitely had to make plans for it. I know I took off work and I got that approved. So I got the approved slip and everything. It's good to go. And I actually told my wife not even an hour ago, I was like, look, on the 18th, I need like 5 hours to sit down and chill and watch this movie, and then a little bit of time to talk about it afterwards. But and she thought I was telling her to get out of the house. Well, I didn't. I was like, no. I'm not saying get out of the house. I just need to be able to have that time allotted to be able to do this.
She's gonna be asleep when you start watching. She's gonna be asleep when you start watching.
Yeah, we got kids, man. Like, we wake up at 6:30 in the morning.
Are you not aware when this thing's coming out? Like, it's gonna be like 2:30 in the morning for you.
Oh, well, I'll be up to watch. Yeah, you're right. She'll be asleep. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. It's even better. Okay, cool. Well, then that was a conversation or approval I didn't even have to have, but I got it.
Well, clearly somebody wasn't here last week. So first of all, we're in the chit chats here a really long time in the pre-show banter, which I love, obviously. But I guess we need to plug the network as well before we start talking about all DC goodness.
It would probably be a good idea. Yeah, we are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance network, where you can find shows 7 days a week, 10 shows in total. You got World's Finest True Believers covering comic book story arcs, graphic novels from many publishers. You got DC Alliance podcast with me and Mr. Bone here covering everything DC. Marvel Alliance likewise. Star Wars Alliance covers everything Star Wars, and Ranger Alliance covers everything Power Rangers. There's also Slice of Film covering films that Katie either has or has not seen, but just a film of the viewer's choice, or guest choice. We also have superhero discussions where me and Travis here are covering some animated series. We're about getting close to halfway through Batman the Animated Series, so we're trucking through that one. It's pretty fun. Super Civil Servants podcast live Friday nights, audio drop Saturday mornings, and then we also have Weird Science DC and Marvel Comics covering comic book stories going currently in the stores right now, like current runs on Saturdays and Sundays. I think that's all the shows.
We're close on Weird Science Comics DC and Marvel roundup. Close. Almost nailed it.
Almost nailed it. Okay. You were also. Yeah, I got you. Yep.
Not about the podcast, just about the title.
I need a drink of water. Yeah.
It was just about the title, and I'm with you. Sometimes I'm like, is it just weird comics DC, but you forget the science. Sometimes gotcha. I do too. It's a tough one. It's a mouthy title, but Joe's he's bringing it. Oh, yeah. Jim, bringing it.
We also have a Patreon account, two tiers, a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier helps keep the lights going, sharpens the batarangs for us. We appreciate it. It's a tip jar. Thank you very much. Then we at the $5 tier, we'll get you ad-free, early, and exclusive episodes. It's a really cool stuff we put on there that will never see the light of day other than what's in that vault that you can access for $5. And we appreciate everybody who contributes to that right now. Other than that, we are an ad-supported network. We'll have a couple ads in this show. Just bear with us for a few moments. They'll be quick and painless, and we'll get right back to talking some DC. But I think that's about it, yeah? All right, let's get talking some DC. And as always, I'm going to toss the microphone to Mr. Bone here, and he's going to get us going with some news.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll jump into what set my timeline, my Twitter timeline, ablaze with news that there was going to be a new Superman reboot coming from WB. They say that it's going to be a black Superman, and Ta-Nehisi Coates is supposed to be pinned as the writer. He already confirmed this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting. People wondering if this is... he didn't confirm what Superman he was writing. People are just jumping to that assumption that it's going to be Calvin Ellis or Val Zod, but it could very well be Henry Cavill, could very well be another take. I don't know. It's interesting. Everyone kind of went crazy. I do subscribe a little bit to why put this out 17 days before Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, where we're getting to see Superman, the current iteration of Superman. Like, why not put this out afterwards? Especially, this is DC, and they have a terrible history in the last 10 years of announcing projects that are either getting just writing or what they're in development, and they never come to see the light of day. Mm-hmm. So I think announcing that that just made no sense to me, that they would do this right now. Just personal, but I can understand trying to get some buzz for it maybe after the Superman and Lois pilot. But even then, I can remember when The Flash came out, I want to say 3 weeks, like 2 or 3 episodes into The Flash, it was announced that Ezra Miller was going to play The Flash in DCU. And I can remember people criticizing that, saying it was too, like, why not wait a little bit before you said that, like, give The Flash a little bit longer to breathe before you do that. So and I just found that funny then. And I'm excited for it. Obviously, I kind of hope it's an Elseworlds, like not even Elseworlds, but is on its own DC universe, like in its own world, so that when there is a big crisis, you can bring this character to whatever, like, the fight is, and you can flush him out in his own universe. But I don't know. It's a lot of ifs. I just really find it funny that they announced that they're just having somebody write a script. So
yeah, that's why I can't get too excited about it to begin with. I mean, just getting a new Superman film would be awesome. The race change with the character doesn't bother me. I just want to see a good movie, a good character, and I don't see any reason why that would be a problem. It's just, you're right. Without a little more confirmation, a little more stuff, coming from this, then I'm not going to put a lot of credence behind this. I get super excited for it. When I hear more about it, I'll get excited for it. The fact that there was Michael B. Jordan talks in the article you're talking about, that's a great idea. I would love that as a casting. I know that he had talks with it before about trying to get a black Superman film started. If they went back to that, then I'd start to be a little more serious about this and get a little more excited about this. But until I hear more news about it, it's a cool idea. And if they do it, I'm all for it to check it out. And I hope I can really enjoy it. But I just need more information, because you're right. They released a lot of stuff that I just get so excited for, and it's never come. How long have we been teasing about Black Adam? I know it's coming, but goodness gracious.
Flash too, for example.
Yeah,
but
it's
to your Michael B. Jordan point, because honestly, that's first where I went and thought about in terms of like who should play him. But the Great Picnic on Twitter, Delta Simba, pointed out to me, well, tweeted out, and it really struck me that, like, people always, that's their first cast for like an African American character is Michael B. Jordan. And thinking about it, it would be nice to have some more unknown character, more unknown actor, more unknown person play that character, and have him elevate to A list or even B list, like get a lot of projects and get more. Because Michael B. Jordan will not be short of iconic characters if he doesn't play this Superman.
Right.
Whereas I think you can elevate another person and just somebody that we will never, like, we haven't seen. I think it would be more interesting to me. But also, they're day one regardless, and like would not complain if it was Michael B. Jordan. But I can see how people were like, let's see somebody else take this mantle. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
my thoughts on that as
I
well.
get that. You know, I don't necessarily have to have a Michael B. Jordan. I just hear it and it's a good idea. You're right. In my mind, that goes to mainly because he had the talks of trying to get into this. So it's something he's been interested in before. It's why it's a good fit. And he's a great actor. He looks the role. It'd be a great part. But I don't mind somebody new. Like I said, I just want a good portrayal. Don't care who plays. I
Yeah,
just want a good
and
portrayal.
then the questions come up: will it be Valzad or will it be Calvin Ellis?
Doesn't really matter to me. And then there are people talking about, will it be Clark Kent?
Oh yeah, could be that too. That's very
So
very interesting.
I feel like personally, it's a better route to go with not making it Clark Kent. Not saying you can't do it or it pissed me off it did, but I just feel like if you want to have a black Superman on screen, give him his own identity. Why does it? You don't want it to be a rehash of another character. Not that it can't be, but it just feels like I would be his own character, and you can make a great story with that. But like I said, whatever they do, I'm sure it's going to work out. I just need to hear more about it, and I'll get excited. And whenever it comes out, I hope it plays really well
I haven't read much with Calvin Ellis. I'm pretty sure he's like president of the United States on
on his
different
Earth.
Earth,
Yeah.
and he's Superman.
Mhm.
But I have read the stuff with Valzad, uh, where his parents were executed by a Kryptonian court, I think, and I think he was friends with Kara, maybe in the run that I read. It was a while ago now, but I think he was saved by Jor-El too, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm. Okay.
But it's been a while since I read that. But I'd be interested to see where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Uh, it's curious to me, but this. What do you think about this in terms of Henry Cavill?
Well, obviously Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman. But that stands with any character that I have that plays like that, like Ben Affleck. It can be changed with future iterations. It's just to date that's my favorite. So obviously I want him to be Superman. I want to see him as Superman. I don't know if that's going to happen. I have some theories that it might, or I have some thoughts that it might, but as of right now, I don't think it's in the works to see much Henry Cavill Superman in the future. Um,
Well,
and I don't know if this changes anything with that.
his agent shared on Instagram picture like wish I could say something, but NDAs.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that means something's coming or if that's like an update on it. I think that it'll be nice to see him in 17 days in the role, and if this like if Zack Snyder's Justice League is a hit for HBO Max and Warner and the VODs and all that, and they hit targets that they didn't think they were going to hit, they could go in a route of giving us a HBO Max Henry Cavill 5-6 episode thing.
Mhm.
Who knows? Like, and he's not against doing the streaming stuff. We see that with Witcher. He's not against anything like that, and I especially don't think he would be against that for HBO Max. So uh, I don't think this spells because a lot of people on my timeline were like, "Oh no, it's like we don't want to lose Henry Cavill." I don't think this means that because of uh, the new way they're approaching things, like what they're doing with the Batman,
Mhm.
and you can exist in your own universe. Same thing with Zack Snyder's Justice League. You can exist in your own universe, like putting them in place, like your world in the multiverse, and then maybe 15 years down the line, maybe 10 years down the line, when you get to that crisis level event, you can pull characters from each one, but they can exist. They don't have to be dependent on it because that is something that sometimes you struggle with the connecting universe of expecting other characters to show up or
Mhm.
come help you with problems, or having you didn't try and contact him. Because I know sometimes in DCCW, even they used to have throwaway lines in Arrow of like Barry was not there, or vice versa with Flash. Yeah, I couldn't get a hold of Oliver, kind of deal. Just like say, yeah, we couldn't call for help type deal.
Yeah.
So
Well, they had to acknowledge it, or somebody's going to ask, why can't this person be here if this is going on type deal.
but I would just like for it to exist in its own universe, even anyway, because you can flesh out its entire world a lot easier.
Mhm.
And then you can bring it in. Now, whatever way it is, like I said, I'm going to be there day one. But it's very interesting to me, and I just hope that we get some more Henry Cavill, because I think that he wants to do the role, and he hasn't had enough. Like, I want another solo Henry Cavill thing. I don't want him to just show up in Shazam or Black Adam for 5 minutes. I know people are okay with that, but I would kind of think he deserves more, and he's gotten the shaft in terms of how this is all played out.
Yeah. It just surprises me so much that he hasn't had more screen time or another movie, because even I feel like even people who didn't enjoy Man of Steel at least can look at Henry Cavill and love the look of that. I know some people complain about him not smiling, even though I can show you 100 pictures in the movies.
We're not getting into that this evening. Come on.
Yeah, but
we're on a
I just
positive
don't.
train here. We don't
Yeah,
talk about
that's
that
what I'm saying.
stuff.
I just don't understand why it hasn't happened yet. And man, unless some stuff that Snyder talks about comes true, yeah, that's my dog. Then it's probably not going to. So
Yeah, and your dog agrees with me on that. I guess that's all we'll talk about. I'm looking forward to seeing more about this and hearing more about this. But like I said, this is DC. I'm still waiting for my Nightwing movie that was announced kind of like this,
yeah,
and never heard the light of day.
movie.
So, well,
Flash movie,
Batgirl
movie.
was Joss, and then
I'm just going through things they've announced. They were
was told to get away. So, yeah, I will be there. I all about people getting represented. So, see, agreed on representation too. So that's about it for that story, Greg.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and take our first break, get into some Zack Snyder stuff, and then we'll just truck through the news.
Sure.
All right, cool. Well, folks, we're going to take a real quick break. Helps keep the lights running, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds. All right, and we're back. So let's get going, man. Big news with Zack Snyder. So we're going to go with this next. IGN?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder was on IGN. I watched this live. It was quite fun. I was en route to do a delivery, and it got canceled, and I got back just in the nick of time to start this, and it was great. Props to IGN. I thought they did a great job, and this went hand in hand with the Vanity Fair article that came out on Monday, like in terms of this positive press coming for Zack Snyder. I think that really the trailer was pretty cool, and we got some interesting tidbits. But one of the main things I think we should talk about is the fact that this movie is going to end on a cliffhanger. Shocking to some people, i.e., the general audience. Not shocking to anyone that has followed this movie, because that was supposed to be the ending of the first of 3 Justice League movies. So it kind of makes sense for us, but there are some people now saying, like, what do you think of that? And I'm just like, okay, well, clearly you haven't been paying attention to the entire saga, or you would have known that that was the plan.
Like you said, I don't think a general audience member is as in deep.
No, I know that.
No.
I know that.
So,
I just find it funny.
I had to show this trailer to people at work that I know love the Snyderverse, but are just not nearly as into it as me. And they're like, oh, so I keep them up to date with their stuff. So, I mean, I can get that not knowing it, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I have a theory, man. Look, Snyder was being very, very coy about everything, about a future with moving forward with this franchise, like having the Snyderverse, have a second Justice League. Every time he was asked, just watch his reaction. Watch the way he kind of smiles and is kind of almost like giggling a little bit. He doesn't really want to, he's very beats around the bush, doesn't want to talk about it, and he doesn't say anything. He does say one thing one time that we'll talk about in a minute. He kind of slips up or almost slips up. But I think that he is in talks that if this is successful, about HBO Max doing, like, continuing the story.
I really wish I had a like live clip of Perry White being like, uh, uh, also water is wet
I mean, everybody
because
I talk to about that says no way it's not going to happen. I haven't heard of people talk
no,
about
I don't think
that.
he's in. I don't think he's in talks because
Yeah.
I think no, I think that anybody would with like a bit of like paying attention to what's going on is like if this is successful, they will look to do something from this. Don't know if it'll be another part of this or it will be a branch off solo thing, but I don't know how you don't think the HBO Max won't take something from this if it's successful and try to go on. I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, like, I don't think that's like a crazy theory. Like, you're like, I got to tell you, like, people
Well,
are think I'm crazy saying this, and I'm like, that kind of makes perfect sense. Besides the fact that he's in talks right now, I think he just knows that if it's good for them, they're going to come looking for more content because he said, as it looks right now, he said that multiple times. He wasn't playing it coy. He was just saying, like,
mhm,
as of right now, there's not going to be any more.
yeah.
But that's as of right now because we don't know how successful it's going to be. And if it is really successful, he could be back for to do another part if you can get all the actors and actresses back. But if not, he can always take. You can do a solo cyborg miniseries. You can
Hmm.
do a solo Batman. You can do solo Henry Cavill Superman. So there's so much you can do, right? So I don't think I think that everything depends on numbers for what
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
happens going forward. So I don't think
100%.
that you're out there. So I
Well,
kind of agree with you. No, I mean like for people being like, I don't know, man. I don't. I think that you're not that far off, to be honest with you, Greg.
yeah. I mean, I
That's
really,
all.
because just like I said, the way he looks whenever you see people ask questions about that, there was one time he slipped up where one of the guests asked him a question about female any future female led heroes that are going to be introduced in this and I
Yeah.
think he kind of slipped up because
No.
he was talking about it and he was like, well, that would be a big spoiler even if that was true. Well, and then he said something else about, I can't remember what he said. I wish I wrote it down because he said even if that was, and then he stopped
We
and then he went,
gotta, you know what we gotta do for you. We gotta get you a notebook, and we gotta jot down all the news that we hear from the Snyder Cut. Because if you would consult your notebook, no, wait for me. If you would consult your notebook of past news, you would remember that there was somebody else on set for the additional photography in the nightmare scene, who will probably be part of the new Justice League slash new team, and that is definitely the hero, the female hero that he is referencing.
right,
That
right.
is Mera with Aquaman's trident. Like she's now the one that runs the show there, and that will be the other hero. That he's not alluding to another movie or anything like that about that. I don't
No,
think
no,
at
no, no.
all.
I wasn't saying that. What I'm saying is he doesn't want to give that away. You and I know that. A lot of people don't. He doesn't want to give that away. It felt like he kind of slipped up almost
I
only.
don't.
So is what I was saying.
I don't think it. I don't think that was at all.
Okay.
I almost slip up. In my
Mhm.
opinion, I think it was just a kind of like I don't want to give up the thing, and maybe he realizes, well, people know Amber Heard was on set as well,
Yeah.
so like well, some people I already know because, but now there's a sidebar. We'll do a little kind of a swirl here, plan
Mhm.
swirl. Did you see any of the news the last couple of days about Amber Heard being fired?
Well, okay. So, like I said, I'm not really on Twitter right now. So if people are like sending me stuff and I'm not responding, it's not that I'm ignoring you. I'm just not really on Twitter. I get on there for show purposes and communicate with people in the network, but I'm just kind of off Twitter. So no, I haven't really seen a lot of stuff. I heard something about that, and I think that when I scrolled through the group chat, I saw some stuff about that. But I figured if it was big news, somebody would tell me about it. But no, I
It's
don't really
not
know a whole lot about it other than,
confirmed, or it's
yeah,
not confirmed or anything. But
that's the one I know. It is not confirmed.
I'm just
I saw
saying
that.
people were saying that. I don't think it's true. I think
Mhm.
it's not happening right now. Uh, but she's gonna be in this movie, right?
Mhm.
And people were surprised about that. Like general audience people that I watched that found out that was surprised.
Mhm.
So I think that that is the female heroine that he was just hinting at. No, just he thought he maybe realized in his head when he was kind of talking about it, kind of not. I think he was just doing the thought process in his head of has this been leaked that Amber Heard is like coming back as Mira? I think he was more thinking about that more than anything else. I think that's what made him like carves the pies that you're thinking about there.
Maybe. Yeah.
Just because
Very
he
possible.
just think he's because I can't imagine what it's like to do any of these interviews where you got to try to not give stuff away but still give little tidbits, and like especially for the Marvel people that where people ask you everything and you can't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't imagine how stressful that is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And he's so close to it too, man. I know there's so many things he wants to say, and it's funny because he was telling the interview, he's like, "Come on, I got it at the house right now." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
are you gonna get the black and white version?"
No, I'm to be straight out with it. I'm a color guy. I love
I
color. I'm a rainbows, butterflies type of guy in terms of just I like happy go lucky, like sunshine,
Mhm.
and I just like color. I'm not a big fan of black and white. Never have really been. Like black and white movies, black and white shows, but like I'll watch them if the kind of like, obviously if this was only released in black and white, I would still watch it and love it. I wish I could see it in color, but still okay with it either way. But if it all comes, I'm hoping it all comes in one giant steel book,
Mhm.
Greg, like two of the copies. So that would be my hope that we get something like that coming out. But I'm all about physical for certain things,
Mhm.
but like streaming for things that I don't want to own.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'll end up owning both of them. I know I will. Like, there's not a lot of movies I'll do that for, but just the fact that I can see it in black and white is going to be really really cool. So I may own a physical copy of one, a digital copy of the other, or something. I don't know. It just depends on what the purchasing options are when it comes out.
Yeah.
So, oh, let's see. What else about this interview did we want to
Well, we
discuss?
wanted to discuss the awesomeness that was the Motherbox trailer.
We did.
And I wanted to give a shout out to Tim Gannon, Timothy PG13 on Twitter, Supergirl TV Talk with him and Frank. I found them 2 years ago, I think, from Brent, or a year ago, one of the two. Brent from Fans Like Borders recommended the show, and I gotta say they really helped enhance my Supergirl experience watching the show, like in coordination with their podcast. And he dove in because we got this amazing Motherbox trailer, kind of with Tom Waits playing, Sam playing in the background, and
I'm watching it as we're sitting here talking about it. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
it's just so nice. It's every one of the leaguers, and it starts off with Cyborg
The football helmet.
as a Vertuvian man, basically in the wall,
Oh yeah. hmm
and I love that. Uh, then it went to Batman as the martyr,
The martyr. Yep.
which was nice. And it's cool that he has the string of pearls, like his mother's pearls is there. And you also see a Richard Grayson tombstone. If you
hmm
look hard enough, that's pretty cool as well in Wayne Manor.
He's
And like
standing over
he's
justice.
bound
Yeah.
to a pillar of justice by his mother's pearls. I mean, it doesn't get more over the head than that. And I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty cool. Aquaman, like King Poseidon, I thought that was deadly. The
Yeah.
way that the Kraken was there, and you can even go to look at Aquaman. He actually like controls the Kraken at the end of Aquaman. So this kind of works with that. Uh,
Yeah.
Flash is pretty cool as the messenger. I think
Yeah.
that's and
That
Superman
was
the
it.
Resurrected. And Wonder Woman was
The
the angelic warrior.
angelic warrior.
So
Yeah.
what was your favorite out of all these?
If I had to say one, it's got to be either the Flash, just because I love the way it looks with the lightning bolt going across the top and just the puddle underneath his foot, or Batman. That's just an awesome looking picture. You know.
I'm a big fan of Wonder Woman there. I thought she looked pretty cool. I'm also a fan of Aquaman. I don't know. Batman seems a little his body in that seems a little weird to me. I don't know. Uh, just me there.
Looks a little Monopoly
Yeah, it just
game piece ish.
doesn't look as good for me as I would like. Obviously, it still looks good, but I just haven't made the actual. I'm not talking about the background or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the actual body shape of Batman drop.
It is noticeably different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that it's okay. It's not like blowing my socks off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think like the way the Flash is drawn, and the way Aquaman's drawn, for example, Aquaman I think is my favorite of all of them. Just the way it just looks fantastic. And the one thing I really love is all the background stuff for Superman, which makes sense because we spent the most time with him as any of the heroes in this world. So there's so much more in his background for me than any of the other ones with the
Yeah.
world engines and the bus and the planet there and the code. Like, it's just so cool.
Yeah, I do like with Superman right there too. In the Resurrected, he's got his hands up, and you can see where, like, in every picture, there's a little piece that's moving, like a mother box, where you can see, it's just showing you mother boxes, what's constructed in this picture. And on Superman's, it's right there where he got stabbed. And if you watch it, it lights up red too as as it starts to fade away. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's a nice little touch.
Super cool.
Yeah. But yeah, man, this trailer, this thing blew me away. I had no idea this was coming. Really enjoyed it. I've only got to watch it the one time other than me sitting here watching it right now. So I'm definitely going to go through and probably watch it in slow-mo and try to pick some things out because Snyder suggested doing that. And I'm sure there's a lot of things in here that I'd like to.
Oh yeah, people are breaking it down. I suggest listen to a few podcasts. I'm assuming we'll get a few really cool breakdown podcasts about this. Snyder also said, I gotta make sure I got it here because that is going to be released. There are going to be chapters in this, chapters, both parts, and the first two chapters are titled. First one is titled "Don't Count on It, Batman," and the second one is titled "Age of Heroes," which everyone and the Age of Heroes one, everyone's thinking it's the flashback. So
maybe.
I think it really will. It could be, or it could even be the Amazonian attack by Steppenwolf bleeding into the history lesson because when the arrow is fired, Wonder Woman goes to it and then she looks and sees the dark side symbol that could lead us in, like, from the Amazons into when she looks at that, and we get the history lesson from that when her reading off the wall there. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh, one thing I thought was interesting about this was that he didn't consult David Ayer about the Jared Leto Joker look change.
No.
Surprised me. Like, not that I'm saying he had to do that, or that was, it just seems like it's something you would go do.
I in normal time, in normal world, yes. In COVID world, where there was, I think it's different things. Obviously, you probably should have called him or something. But even that, I don't think for the amount of time he's in this, I don't think he did. Maybe. Also, this is Nightmare World, so like you can kind of throw out his interpretation.
Yeah, that was where I think he saved it, because he even said, he's like, well, no, I didn't consult with him, but at the same time, this is a post-apocalyptic Nightmare World Joker. It's not the David Ayer Joker from Suicide Squad, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would imagine you're going to look a little different. So,
and he loved working with Leto. So, and we also got Henry Lennox asking a question as well about Martian Manhunter. There was one other really interesting question, which was if Bruce has always killed as Batman, or did he get rule? And he said no. He's basically been like beaten down from his 20 years of fighting crime in Gotham. He had a lot of crappy things happen to him.
Yeah, I'm glad that was explained, because it seems like for some reason, it seems obvious to me, but it seems like for some reason a lot of people don't understand that. Don't like Batman, but I like how the guy who called in that question explained it. Like, he grew up with Tim Burton, so it's embedded in in mind, and
you must have been smiling. You must have been smiling so much when he's talking about
I was like, good question. I liked the question they were asking about Darkseid having more human elements to him, like having kind of human emotions or problems that we could relate to. And I like Snyder's explanation that there is going to be a dynamic between him and Steppenwolf. You're going to see a history. You're going to be connected to these characters on more than just come down, take over type villain.
Well, 4 hours, we're going to have so much time spent with all these characters that definitely makes sense. And I want to get that. Apparently, Darkseid he's there. He's like the puppet master. He's the guy controlling the thing. But I don't think we're going to see Darkseid fight at all in this one.
No, I don't think in
Well,
this
but
one
wait,
either.
sorry.
Yeah.
Besides the history lesson, but I
Yeah.
don't. That's Uxas. That's not Darkseid at that
Mhm.
point.
Yeah. And he even explains that. I like when he's talking about the different times for the different movies and how this one was actually originally was longer than 4 hours. They said, and they cut it down to 4 hours, and the studio wanted to cut
A
it down to
5 hour
2 hours.
assembly cut.
Yeah. And the studio wanted to cut it down to 2 hours, and he was like, okay, this movie was this, and it had this character, and this movie was this, and it had these characters. And now I have 6 characters, and there's just no way to do it. And he's absolutely right. You can't do it justice. So I
Well, it
agree.
can be done, but not good.
Well, not a 2 hour cut. Exactly. So,
And pivoting off of Zach's IGN just a little bit, Junkie XL himself was on the vodka stream this past Friday, and I watched it, a lot of it, and it was so funny. The dude is part of so many memes now.
yeah.
Uh, he talked about, like, he shared Batman's new theme. He shared the Justice League theme. Both of those are wicked. If you go look and watch it from the vodka stream, you can see Scott from DC Film Squadcast. You can watch literally the point in which his soul leaves his body, and he has that out of body experience where he's looking down on himself, closing his eyes, listening, and kind of moving his hands a little bit, and you can see him completely have an out of body experience, like listening to that live. And Junkie Cell was so cool. He was like lighting up cigarettes all kinds of times, like it was wicked. It was like,
cool.
I told Chris, talking to Chris Belga, I told Chris that he makes smoking look cool, like those old like 60s, 70s commercials,
Mm-hmm.
and all those old 70s movies, like Clint Eastwood, they're rocking the cigarette. It's the same thing. It looks so cool.
Yeah. Certain people are just like that, man, where everything they do is cool no matter what it is.
He said Wonder Woman's theme has been redone to represent more of Wonder Woman's Amazonian roots, inspired
Mm.
by ancient instruments with more aggressive riffs and drums. He said the choir is sang by an Iranian singer who represents the inner voice and soul of Diana in her more emotional moments.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Sorry, go.
I'll say I didn't want to go one of the.
Yeah.
Cyborg's theme is the most emotional out of the movie, and the longest scene with his origin scene is almost 15 minutes with continuous score and almost zero dialogue.
And he was loving this. He was saying this was his Mount Everest, like this movie, his Mount Everest to conquer, 4 hours. He said Aquaman has a brand new theme, different, that's more badass. Flash doesn't have an individual theme per se because JL main theme evolves out of his actions, and he's responsible for the Justice League even existing, which is kind of a little bit of spoiler drop, which was like, it's funny to me, but not really, not spoiler, more than the kind of like letting you know it was, Flash plays a really big. We all know he's time traveling, folks. I'm not going to try and beat around the bush anymore.
Right.
He also says Batman has a new theme to represent his art. He's no longer focused on his traumatic past, but is instead bringing together the League. His Bat single will have its own theme. He also has a brand new guitar riff for any time he does something cool or badass.
I can't wait. That would be my new alert on my
That's amazing.
Yeah.
He also says Steppenwolf, Darkseid, the Motherboxes all had the same theme, which Junkie XL only described as a choir from hell.
Yeah.
And he
Strange
said,
new sounds he made, which is
and he says Superman's theme will remain mostly the same, but Junkie XL did state that there will be a new rendition of it featuring electronic guitar, similar feel to a rock song.
yeah. And then I guess the crew at War Power.
Yeah, he already released that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited.
And he said that, he said, we already heard various renditions throughout the movie. We already heard has various renditions throughout the movie, including a much more emotional, somber version, which I think he said Junkie XL was quiet when asked if he made the theme for the Joker.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get something.
This was a great. It was a lot of fun. If I'm being honest with you, it was fun to see Scott in there, and that goes really awesome out to Friday, leading into the Saturday that was this IGN thing. Props to IGN for doing this. I thought it was good because they've a lot of times crapped on him. I remember watching a podcast with, if there's anyone older than 21 on the live video podcast, then they must barely got over 21, and they were talking about this movie and saying like it's bad precedent and stuff like that, and it was just terrible for me to hear. So it's nice to see him at least have the other side as well. So
Right.
yeah.
I think that's about it, man. You got anything else
Yeah.
you want to bring up?
Shout out to Terry Schwartz too for doing the interview. I thought
Mm.
she was great, and I hope that you get invited over to watch the movie. I'll be jealous of you,
Yes.
but I hope you do because
Oh, yes, yes.
that was really funny.
I did want to ask too, and I know I thought about this earlier. We knew originally this is 3 movies. We knew the second one was going to be a post-apocalyptic setting,
Yeah,
but but I don't think he's ever said the entire movie was a nightmare scene movie.
no,
I
he did
think
not.
she accidentally leaked that during the interview because just hold on, because everything she's saying to him the whole time, he's smiling, laughing, all into it. When she says that, she goes, "Yeah, I remember earlier you talking about what you were talking about earlier with it being an entire nightmare movie." And watch Zach's face, and then he kind of backs up and he's like, "Yeah, entire nightmare movie." Kind of changes the subject, and for the next couple minutes, he seems a little pissed. I think that might have been something they were talking about beforehand, and she spilled the beans right there on accident. Because I've never heard it being described as an entire nightmare scene movie, but that's what they
I've
described it as.
heard it like that before.
Have you? I just never heard it like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've
so
heard it
maybe,
like that. We've seen a Jim Lee drawing where it says 5 years later, and that was the
well, yeah,
start
but
of the second movie, right?
okay, but I didn't
It's
realize it was the entire
yeah.
movie wanted to be
See,
that setting.
okay,
So
yeah, but well, I didn't think he looked pissed to be honest with you, but I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it since Saturday, and I've only watched it
yeah,
once. So you
yeah,
could be right. You pitched like you said, you just watched it, and I was asking. Got to make sure everything that he's like. I got to remember everything that was
yeah,
in there. So you
yeah,
could be right on that. I'm just trying to remember that. I don't remember him seeming pissed, but I also was like, oh my god, we're getting all these new things. Like thinking,
right,
I don't know what else we're getting. Right. So
yeah. I'm
like,
probably wrong about that. To be honest with you, just
that
something like
doesn't,
that. But
Greg. That kind of stuff definitely could happen. Like that
mm,
is definitely a possibility. Now I'm hoping it's not for her, because she did a really good job with the
she
interview,
did, she did.
and just shout out to IGN for doing this, and also shout out to Justice Con and Nerd Queens. I don't know, I haven't seen anybody say it here on my timeline or anything, but they started all this with
Mm,
all these like IGN fan fests and stuff like that. Yes, DC fandom was announced, but we didn't see it, and I think that them doing their little thing with, well, not little, but it was like smaller thing compared to SDCC, and we'll just say in terms of what you would have thought. I think that people like IGN and other companies seeing them just get so many views and so many people, so much buzz for just their own thing that they did. I think they realized that they could put some of these things off as well. And
yeah,
perhaps IGN for doing it, but also uh, I think we know what was the biggest draw for them on this thing, and it definitely was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
the biggest draw for the. Oh yeah,
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 for them.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Cool. You want to take our last break? We'll come back and knock out the last little bit of news and then hop out of here.
You got it, bud.
All right, man. Folks, once again, we'll be right back. Take a quick commercial break and we'll see you in just a minute. All right, and we're back. All right, a little bit of news left to talk about. Just some fun stuff. Get us started.
Well, you weren't here with us last week
Mhm.
when the Blue Beetle news was announced for a movie, and the director responded. Clay really loved it, getting represented, which was nice to see finally. And I love the character, seeing him in both. He was in several movies for the DCAU, including Teen Titans versus Justice League. I thought he was really good in those. He's also fantastic in Young Justice as well. So, not to mention, he's pretty good in some of the comics I've read. So we got some. The Blue Beetle director talked about the movie in an interview.
Mm.
And whenever
I've got it all pulled up right here.
I was going to say,
But
whenever,
yeah, I'm really excited for this too. I love the character, and it's going to be really really cool to finally see Blue Beetle on big screen. It's a badass character. Yeah. So this discussion with or a summary of what was discussed with in the interview. It's got 8 bullet points. Says he met a few times with Warner Brothers people before he was given the job. Apparently, Warner Brothers is very interested in working with him, as they were the ones who offered him Blue Beetle. And even if he wasn't interested in directing that film, they had other projects they wanted him to work for, but didn't specify which one. So they want this guy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
want to be part of the team, even if you're not going to do Blue Beetle, be part of this team is what they're wanting. A few days later, he met with Warner Brothers president himself. They both agreed it's time for Latinos to be presented as something more than a stereotypical bad guys, in this case, a superhero, which I 100% agree with. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Says apparently there's a script. He has read it, and he described it as real and will also focus on Jaime's family as the movie opens the world for other characters to come in. Okay.
And the movie opens the world, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that you can get more characters.
He says ideally he'd like the casting announcement to be made soon. He has a wish list of people he'd like to work with. But
apparently he may have followed the person from Cobra Kai.
Okay.
They're trying to put together. And most times when they do this, it is pretty accurate. If somebody follows somebody else, most times it is.
Okay. It says he seems very passionate and looks like he knows the source material, and he spends a little bit of time talking about Jaime/Blue Beetle's experiences or appearances in the comics and TV, Young Justice, and Brave and the Bold. That's good to know.
Yeah.
He says he also mentions how much Blue Beetle means to the Latin Americans and what a privilege it is for him to be helming this film. Awesome. So,
I don't know how much he means in terms of, like, I think he can mean a hell of a lot. I think you just got to get him out there more. Like, I think he could represent. I think he could do so well. But I don't think he's been around enough to say that he's like
really popular. I don't have enough information. Yeah, I don't have enough information to really make that.
I could be wrong. I need to see some Blue Beetle comics, but I just think that I think that they need to get him out there more before you can.
I think everybody's gonna love him. He's an awesome character.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I think he would mean so much to so many young Latin Americans, and I just think that you just need to get that out there. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. And then the last one is his Blue Beetle adaptation will be inspired by 3 films: Drive, Pacific Rim, and the other one I couldn't quite understand. I think it says Akira, but I could be wrong.
That's pretty cool. Just some nice little things he said there, and it seems like he's really interested in this gig.
Yeah, like I said, it's something I've wanted to see for a long time. It's an awesome character to put on screen. If you do it right, it could be one of the coolest looking characters you have out there. So we'll see what happens. Once again, this is another one of those things that we don't know a ton of news about. I'm excited to hear about it whenever it comes, a little closer to, we get a little more news, I'll get more excited. So
same. I guess our next piece of news, we got that funny little teaser for Image Classic Titans. But I don't understand. You could just put out the image. You don't need to do a teaser a day before. Let me know you're putting out an image.
Right.
They put out an image of Blackfire, and I gotta say that first of all, her costume, her outfit looks amazing, but this is one of the rare cases, I think, not rare cases, but not as much as I see more often than not, the concept art looks better than the actual thing. Here, the actual actress looks better than the concept art for me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think Corey should be jealous that it took her 3 years to get a costume and she gets one right away.
Yeah. No, I think it looks great, man.
It's awesome.
For some reason the image is not working up, but yeah, I don't necessarily remember the concept art.
It's in the picture. It's right next to it. That's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I think that that's the thing that the Titans has done the absolute best. Like, they've done some really good job with castings. They've done some really good job with a lot of parts of that show, minus the endings, of course. But the costume design in the show is absolutely beautiful. Stunning movie quality. Better than some movies. Costume design. I absolutely love it. And they just knocked another one out of the park. The only thing I want to see some improvement with Gar.
DC has nailed it with costumes across the board.
Yes.
And for the last several years. I gotta say that I too want to see some more of Gar, but it's more not his costume in term more so. I want to see you transform into more than just a tiger.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this show to get back on there, and I really hope they can stick the landing. But this is really cool, and I can't wait to see her Blackfire versus Starfire, and to see them both glow and use their powers. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I'm wondering how big of a role it's going to be in this season. I mean, I imagine it's going to be pretty large
She's the
with this
main villain.
costume. Oh, she's the main villain.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the
Huh?
teaser at the end of season 2.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they were going to make that as like a side story, because
No,
generally a lot of stuff with
not because no, because we got that she was involved in a couple episodes in season 2 with Corey, so that
yeah,
kind
but
of
yeah, I get that. I'm just saying generally most of the time for some reason it seems like most stuff with Corey is like a side story, or maybe they've just been building up to this.
well, they have.
So
That's what they were doing in season 2, building up towards this, and uh, it just made sense that way anyway for her to like take this on when
yeah.
her best friend basically was killed by her sister, trying to get her to come back.
It's gonna be so great to see both of them on screen together.
Let's just hope they nail the ending, Greg. Let's just hope they nail the ending.
And fingers crossed, dude. fingers
Crossed.
You know what? I'm not going to give up on the show if they do, but the studio might. um,
So we're going to do a bit more humorous ending,
Mm.
because Justice League's Henry Cavill shaved mustache pictures have been leaking the past couple days, and I gotta say, Greg, I am here for it. I'm here for all the pictures. I'm here for all the mustache. Uh, I don't know who leaked these pictures, but thank you so much.
Yes.
It's so great, and it looks like he has chicken pox from the bottom of his face, like from like the lower part of his face and under his chin. In the racing one, I could. It was so funny to look at.
I think the best part about always the best part about this kind of stuff is the comments. Of course, there's going to be some stuff in there you just don't read, but some people put some pretty funny stuff in there, and people talking about how it probably would have looked better if you just left the mustache in, and how people wouldn't have noticed it or wouldn't have noticed it as much. Like more, like people would have noticed the mustache less than they would have the botched. Oh gosh, that picture right there has a face of it. Ugh.
At one point, like if you're on set, even if you're the boom bike, do you not try and tackle Superman and shave his mustache and be like, "You will thank me later. You will thank me later. I'll get fired for this. I don't care." But it's still really funny just to see his face, and just somebody really wanted their bonuses.
I can't imagine having to film like that though, just because honestly, it's just got to feel silly. Like, I don't know. For me, it would at least. Maybe I'm just if I saw it or if I had to do it, it would feel silly. It's like
Question.
I don't wear a Batman cowl because I have a
Oh,
beard. I don't want to shave my beard to put a Batman cowl on.
Question. Would you not feel silly if you didn't have the mustache but was wearing the blue form-fitting tights and pretending to be a superhero?
Oh, I do, dude. Are you kidding me? I have, yeah, I have form-fitting tights and superhero costumes. So yeah, I'll wear it. I don't care if I could get Henry Cavill's suit and wear that. You're damn right. I'd wear it everywhere. I'd wear it to work. I wouldn't care.
God.
You wouldn't?
No.
Are you serious?
Greg,
You get that suit fitted to you. You wouldn't wear it everywhere?
I don't think
Maybe
you
I'm a giant
realize. No, I don't think. First of all, I would wear the suit once or twice inside, try it on. But I don't think you realize that this isn't really a jump in the car and go pick up my kids from work suit here. Like I'm much more comfortable in sweatpants, jogging pants, shorts, t-shirts, flip-flops, stuff like that.
No, mate. Well, I mean, I am comfortable in those.
Wearing
No,
this
dude.
completely form-fitting bodysuit where you got to get people to help you out for pee and stuff. I'm
Okay.
gonna hard pass on that for me for wearing that all the time.
I mean, I guess yeah. When you think about it like that, yeah, I guess it would pose some difficulties.
I could remember it. I would love to see you like delivering packages with like your Superman cape flapping out through the side door.
I've got my Mandalorian helmet right there. I'm gonna wear it this Halloween to be the male Mandalorian.
Oh my god!
So
although that Mandalorian helmet's awesome.
Yeah, the male Mandalorian.
But yeah, I just thought it looked really really funny, and I question anyone that looks at that and says this looks right. It looks like Superman's been unemployed for a couple weeks.
Well, you wonder how many eyes that had to pass through and get approved by to be like, okay, looks good, and then for fans to notice it immediately.
Bonuses are a hell of a thing, Greg. Bonuses are a hell of a thing.
This is true. This is true.
But yeah, it's still really funny, and listeners, take a look at it if you can. It's priceless.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them too. I mean,
Yeah, they're rating around yesterday.
I'm sure they're gonna get. Yeah, I'm sure they'll find their way in your feed. But that's it, man. Isn't it?
Yeah,
No more
that's
news.
it. That's
Shorter
all she
show this
wrote.
week, but I think we're gonna get back to Batwoman eventually.
Yeah,
Got
we were
news
we were
coming out.
debating it, and I think we're just going to do mid-season. We're going to do pilot reviews, like season premieres, not just pilot reviews, but season premieres. So we'll give The Flash a go. It comes down tomorrow night, and then we'll do mid-season and season finales for the DCCW shows, unless bearing a crazy episode that we just had. One of us is like, this episode's insane. You have to watch it. We need to talk about it on Monday.
Yeah.
So,
or unless we decide Superman and Lois is so good, we just need to cover that every week anyway.
oh yeah, well, that even if that happens, I don't think that will happen until after Snack Snyder's Justice League. So,
all right, there you go. More focused on that right now.
yeah,
okay.
But we'll cover it all when we need to dip in. We will in episode reviews, but I will promise you, we will not discuss every DC CW episode. Especially, like, I know there's some filler, and that will never be discussed on a weekly podcast like this. But we will talk about the good things as long as I can keep up with DCCW, because my love is not crazy right now.
It's waning.
It's it's a little frigid. I watched a episode of Flash versus Arrow yesterday when I was eating breakfast, and I couldn't have had a better time watching the episode.
That's your comfort show, isn't it?
I couldn't have been more bummed after it was over.
Yeah. I really should go back and rewatch the first few seasons of Arrow and Flash. It's been a while since I've seen them. I really, really remember enjoying those. I'd like to see
the first two seasons of the Flash are the best of the show. So those 100%. Are fantastic. And Arrow, that's the one thing I do like about Arrow is that I think you can ask everybody and they'll have different season rankings, and that shows ups and downs of a show, but also show hitting its hitting its highest abilities multiple times.
Yeah,
it's right.
Or catering to a bunch of different people's wants and needs.
Not even that, right? Because the Flash went and then straight down. Like you can argue season 4 is worse than season 6, but the quality kept going down. Whereas Arrow was like going up, then dipped, then went back up, then dipped, then went back up again. So that's kind of like the yodeler.
It's like Bitcoin.
Yeah. Mr. Dogecoin.
Yeah. Oh, well, all right, man. Well, I guess let's get out of here. Where can they find you, buddy?
You can find me on Twitter at Travis_156. You can drop me a line. We can chat about anything DC this time. I also do superhero discussions with Greg, where, like Greg said earlier in the opening, we're neck deep in Batman, the animated series. We're almost done season 1. After that, we will tackle Mask of the Phantasm. I decided against pulling the plug before season 1 ended. I just thought it was stupid at episode 46 right now. Why not finish it first and then watch Mask of the Phantasm? Yeah,
we got about 20 episodes left in the first season. Yeah, good idea. So, all right, you can find me at the BatDaddy52 on Twitter. It's a personal handle. Here on this show with Travis, Super Discussions with Travis, Super Civil Servants Friday nights, C3 Panthers podcast on Tuesdays. And that's most of the places you can find me at. But once again, if you check out at the BatDaddy52, you can find all my shows. Let's check out at GUA Pod Network or Podcast Network. No, GUA Pod Network on Twitter. You can find all the shows there. Check us out. Give us a like. Give us a review. Tell a friend. We really appreciate it. And for everybody who contributes and listens, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week. Till then.
Audio listeners, I'm holding a Toronto Maple Leafs mug over my head. They are first place in the NHL. Go Leafs, go.
Go Leafs, go. I like it. Until next week, keep bounding.